Okay, so raise your hands if you've ever been rejected. It's an emotion that probably all of us can relate to, myself included. And I know that I'm supposed to take the moment right now to tell you that your rejection is okay, that all things work together for the good of those that love God. And that is so true. It really is. But I also want to be real with you because 2018 was hard for me. And I dealt with some rejection in my own life with friends and people that I was close to and everything. And as much as we want to talk about how all things work together for the good, rejection sucks. It really, really sucks. And it can especially be difficult when you don't have perspective on why you're going through that rejection. And if you don't have that perspective, it also makes it very difficult for you to manage the relationships in your life with your family, with your friends. And for those of you who are single, when you're trying to date, this rejection that you've dealt with, this energy of dealing with that pain, or more accurately, not dealing with that pain, can make it so hard to become that cherished woman who goes on to find a man who will cherish her and love her and respect her. So today I wanted to just talk for a few minutes about the lessons that you have to learn about rejection in order to be a cherished woman. So if this is your first time watching me, my name is Keisha Rice and I am the pre-wife coach. I help single professional Christian women learn how to date and find godly men without compromising their values, their identity, or their sanity. So again, this past year I dealt with a lot of rejection, and it was hard for me until I remembered this series of sermons that I heard, and they were centered around John 15. And in that chapter, God talks about, or Jesus talks about, God being the gardener and how we're the vine. And he talks about how, God cuts those branches that aren't fruitful, and even the ones that are fruitful, he prunes them to make them more fruitful. And I was reading over that again, and it made me think about the fact that I'm not rejected. I've never been rejected. And you've never been rejected either. You've been pruned. Because God doesn't make mistakes. Nothing happens by accident. So those of you who are still dealing with hurt from past relationships, and you're having a hard time understanding why someone left you, and you're having a hard time understanding why God would allow you to feel that pain, and you're having a hard time moving on, learning to date again, learning to get in relationships again because you can't trust anyone anymore. I just want you to know that, again, you're not being rejected. You are being pruned, because when God has a purpose for you, he will not allow anything that's going to get in the way of you being fruitful to stick around. He will cut and he will prune to make you as fruitful as you are meant to be. And I want you to realize that, because again, so many of the women that I talk to, that I work with, they come to me, and one of the main issues that they have is dealing with this idea of they want to move on. They want to go from pre-wife to the wife. They want to find that godly man. They want to get married, but they're stuck in this past. They're stuck in this past hurt. They're stuck in this rejection that they've dealt with, and they don't know how to move forward. They don't know how to trust, because they go on dates and something about the person that they go out with will remind them of someone from their past who rejected them. Or they have these walls up and they can't get to know anyone in the first place. And again, I want to remind you that you're being pruned, because your purpose is way more important than any temporary discomfort that you will go through. A cherished woman knows that, yes, all things work together for the good. And a cherished woman knows that that means that some bad things are going to come her way. Because if all things work together for the good, that means that good things and bad things work together for the good. So when you are a cherished woman, you know that that pain is going to happen. You know that God allowed that pain to come into your life, but you also know that that pain does not prevent you from being able to move forward. In fact, it came into your life to make you stronger, to allow you to better relate to people. And because you can relate to people better, you have better relationships. You have better relationships with your family and your friends, but also when you put yourself out there and date again, you go on better dates. You can sympathize and empathize with men better. That allows you to connect better. It allows you to have more fulfilling relationships. None of your pain is ever wasted. Not a drop of it. Not a drop of your seemingly rejection is ever wasted. All of that comes together to make you the type of woman who is worthy of being cherished. And it makes you the type of woman who appreciates being cherished when a man comes along who is willing to do that for you, who wants to take care of you, who wants to cherish you, who wants to support you. Because that past pain makes you way more appreciative. And when you're more appreciative and you live in gratitude, then you draw in so many more good things into your life. You have a much more blessed life. And when you meet that man that you're supposed to be with, the two of you have a more blessed relationship, because the same way that he cares for you and cherishes you, you'll appreciate him, because you'll know that God sent him to build and to add to your life. So I want those of you who've dealt with past hurt in your relationships before, I want you to know that, again, you were just pruned. You were pruned to become a stronger woman. You were pruned to become a more interesting woman. You were pruned to learn to love yourself a little bit more because you had to in order to heal from that pain. You were pruned in order to appreciate good men when you see them. You were pruned so that when you found the man who was going to become your husband, that you appreciated him and you knew that this marriage was not something to be taken lightly, because you know what it's like to be hurt. And not only do you not want to be hurt again, but you also don't want that for someone else, especially not the man that you're going to spend your life with. So I want you to know that your rejection was just a matter of God protecting you from what could have been more hurt down the road. It was a matter of providing for you so that you were able to learn some lessons in your past when you weren't ready to go from pre-wife to the wife, so that now that you are ready to get married, you go into relationships with a healthy perspective. You go in with a knowing of what it's like to be hurt. You go in knowing that you don't want to treat other people that way. And because of that, you cherish all of your relationships more. Nothing is ever wasted. And that includes God cutting off your branches so that you can be more fruitful. That includes God pruning some other branches so that you can be more fruitful. None of that is wasted pain. That pain is put into sort of a bank in your future so that, again, your understanding of relationships, your appreciation for relationships, your gratitude will grow. And because of that, you'll grow in abundance in all areas of your life later on. So I hope that this helps you understand that what you saw as rejection, what you saw as being nothing but pain, only serves to make you more fruitful. And I hope that you will become that cherished woman who takes that experience and allows it to be fruitful and grows into the confidently cherished woman that God wants her to be, so that when she meets the man who's going to be her husband, she knows that she's ready to not just get married and have a ring and all of that good stuff because it's nice and pretty, but she's ready to be a wife. She's ready to be cherished. She's ready to be supported by a man. She knows that she's worthy because of all the past experiences that she's been through, because of the woman that she is. She knows that she's worthy of being cherished. And she also doesn't take the responsibility lightly because, again, she's been on that side of hurt. So she is going to take very seriously the responsibility of protecting and caring for her husband the way that he will do the same for her. So just a few thoughts on rejection, because I want you to know that it is a vital part of becoming the cherished woman that you are meant to be. And over the next few days, I will be talking a lot more about what it means to be a cherished woman and some of those qualities. And a lot of them will be much more lighter and happier than this video. But I definitely wanted to talk to you about this because before anything else, you have to understand this lesson before you're actually able to walk into what it means to be cherished. So I will talk to you guys later. Love you all. Bye.